Hi there, this is Virgil with Doc Audio, and welcome back. Thank you so much for your support over the past few months as we've been building content on the Doc Audio YouTube channel. And please subscribe. Hit that subscribe button down there, please, and we'll be generating more content as time goes on. So I want to thank you again for that. We've been doing some reviews in addition to building some educational content, and I'm a big fan of live audio. I do a lot of work in the studio here, putting together soundtracks and what have you. But one of the things that I'm a real big fan of is being that I'm a live musician, which beats being a dead musician. But I'm a live musician and I play in a variety of ensembles. I'm a big fan and advocate of in-ear monitors. As a sound guy sitting out front with the board running in front of house, in-ear monitors are simply the best way of eliminating as much of the onstage sound as you can and competing sounds that are going out, that are getting in the way of your front of house mix. And especially if you're in a small nightclub or you're in a church or something like that, where you've got that the singers always want their voices louder, so you got wedges on the floor, and they're blasting back and they're bouncing off the back wall and they're competing and facing problems with your front of house mix, and it's really a pain. So in-ear monitors are definitely the way to go, but the problem is the price point of in-ear monitors is ridiculous at times. And if you buy cheaper ones, you often get what you paid for, and that's truly unfortunate. Well, a few months ago, this brand kind of came into my view, and this is a brand called Xvive, 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 and I'm going to do an unbox real quick and kind of talk about the product. But when I first got these, I thought, okay, the price point was like I got a transmitter, well, that's excuse me, backwards. That's transmitter and a receiver in one package for south of $300. I'm like, it really can't be that good. But the reviews were looking kind of nice, and I was like, well, I don't really trust people that much to review things the way I would review them. So I'll order one. The worst case scenario, I'll have to call my guy at Sweetwater. Did I say Sweetwater Music in beautiful Fort Wayne, Indiana? Is where I buy most of my stuff. Anyway, so I could always call my sound my sales guy up and say, "Hey, I want to return this. Just didn't work out so well. No fuss." So I'm going to open this up. Nice, but when I got the box, I picked it up. I was like, "This is heavy. This box has got some weight." I was like, I don't know what they put in there. Maybe some more candy. I don't know. But anyway, so I opened it up and slid it out. And of course, the box itself is not very heavy at all. But here is, just as pictured, the transmitter and the receiver. Now, in the back, of course, is all the necessary paperwork and all the cabling that you'll need to hook things up, and the converter that you'll need later. I'll tell you how that's all going to go down. But I'll be putting some links down in the comments in the description section of this video. So I pulled out the receiver. Now, I've used a lot of receivers over the years from different manufacturers and some really amazingly expensive receivers. And when I picked this thing up, I was like, man, this thing's like, it's small, but it's built really well. It's built like a tank, and it's a metal casing. The back, the belt clip is like, good lord, I could park a car on that. This thing's built. And I don't want to name names of different companies. I mean, sure, but I've had experience with some top of the line brand name in-ear monitors that it's like these were just built like really cheap. The other thing is when I got a hold of this thing, I plugged it in the first time, turned it on, and went to adjust the volume, and I noticed this potentiometer, the monitor, the volume control is really built. I mean, it's like, goodness gracious, this thing is just, I mean, it's It turns smooth. It feels robust, and then checking the top, it's got a switch, on-off switch for the power, and then you've got your input, or excuse me, your output for your 1/8" stereo. These do transmit in mono, so it's not going to really matter. You're just getting out the same. And again, that's one of those things that you think about. It's like, am I going to send stereo out? Well, this is a mono send, so if that doesn't matter to you, then it's worth the price. So anyway, so really built really well. Has a little input on the side here for AC, so it charges. But when I turned it on, it was really sweet. Turned it on, and it's fully charged already. Now you can switch. It has 6 receiving channels, and the transmitter also has 6 transmit channels, so you can find a good setup for yourself, and that has the least amount of problems as far as interference in your church or nightclub or what have you. Or what's really cool is, because they're so inexpensive, you could buy 6 of these guys for way less than you'd spend on a top drawer brand name unit, and you have 6 potential distinct mixes for your musicians on stage. Now you can buy, if you say, okay, look, I'm a praise team leader in a small church. We don't have the most incredible budget to spend on sound gear, and the transmitter hooks up. That's going to be our transmitter, but we need more than one receiver, because we have more than one musician on stage. So if I want to put in ears and 8 people's ears, then I gotta buy more of these. Well, the price point on these is south of $150. So for south of $150, which per musician priced our wedges on stage, it's still cheaper. So it's still cheaper for us to go with in-ear monitors and receivers and buy the transmitters. Now, mind you, depending upon the board that you're using, a lot of smaller boards only have 4 to 6 aux outs, so you can only send 4 to 6 auxiliary mixes, so distinct mixes, out to your stage. So you can gang up on this transmitter. So in other words, if I've got 4 singers, I'm gonna buy 1 transmitter. I'm gonna buy 4 receivers. I'm gonna send it out to them on stage, and they all get the exact same mix. And to be fair, they're just getting all the same mix anyway. This just eliminates the on-stage volume wars that can occur between the front of the house mix and everybody having to have more of me in the monitors. So I can't hear myself. Can I have more of me? It's like, absolutely. And then pretty soon your monitors are on stage are blasting louder than your front of the house, and people in the front row are not digging it. Sound guy's not digging it. You get the picture. One of the other things I might mention really quick about this is that you notice it's an XLR. This is the transmitter. It's an XLR. They do have an included converter that will change it out to a 1/4 inch for your board that doesn't have XLRs for your aux outputs. So it's kind of cool, sweet. Like I said, really built well. Again, for me in practice, these have really done well. I've been super impressed with how the quality of the build is not the only thing that's quality about this. Sound quality of these units is like pretty solid. I mean, it competes with the upper level, high dollar in-ears that I'm kind of used to using. So, just a little bit of information here to kind of consider with this is that you're getting an in-ear monitor system. It's self-battery powered. They do need to be charged. Okay, you don't have external batteries. You have to go digging around looking on online to buy rechargeable batteries and such. The battery life in these units, according to Xvive, is about 5 hours. They're being very conservative. I had an experience with it. The battery just lasted. I went 8 hours on a charge, and it's like it did just fine. And the the latency, which is from the time I speak into the microphone to the time it comes in my ears. Your mileage may vary, but for the most part, it's around 5 millisecond, and that's just super indiscernible. I can't even hear 5 millisecond difference. I mean, between me saying the word and hearing it back from the board to my ears, which is really incredible. There's that's just really hard to beat. The other thing is that if you're worried about transmit distance, these guys say that they'll transmit up to 90 feet. I've seen it transmit further. As I said, I think they're being just a little more conservative with their claims in hopes that people will go, okay, we're in a club and it's 25 feet to the soundboard. I think we're good. Or we're in a church and it's 50 feet to the soundboard. I think we're good. The nice thing about the Xvive, I've kind of told you, is the price point, the bang to buck ratio is just off the charts. Really super quality build, good solid quality as far as just the overall features are concerned. It's like signal noise ratio is 170 dB. That's the dynamic range. Signal noise ratio is super low. 100. Well, it says 107, so dynamic range, signal noise ratio, roughly the same. The quality of the build is enough to make me want to buy them. Sound quality is really solid. Just an overall great value. So if you're looking for an in-ear monitor system that's not going to bust the bank, that's going to give you what you need for the money, it's going to be really hard to beat this. Xvive puts these out. They're available all over the place. This company has really done a great job marketing these. They're the U4 series. They come in packs like this. You can go up to they have packages going up to 4 receivers and a single transmitter. And again, you can buy extra receivers if you want to. The price point's somewhere around south of 150. So check those out. This is Virgil Franklin at Doc Audio, and enjoy your life in audio. Thanks so much for your support. You guys have a great rest of your day, and thanks for dropping by. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for me, will you? And give us some love in the comment section. Sure appreciate it. Share it around. Thanks.